EOM Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Hello everyone, it's another beautiful day and thank you very much for joining us. You're watching the EOM Business Network, indeed the voice of corporate Nigeria. I am Olorogo Elkanah Mawari. Today on the program, we shall be taking a look at the Nigerian economy from the viewpoint of industry operators. And so with Let's Talk, we shall be taking a look at Masters Energy Group. On Spot On, we shall bring you a relatively young business operator, certified management consultant, transformational coach, astute entrepreneur, and industry captain, Bankole Williams, who is the founder, principal consultant, and chief executive officer of LYD Consulting Limited, a fast-growing corporate development firm in Nigeria, and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2024. And on the face-to-face, we shall continue our conversation with a professor of geology, certified petroleum engineer, highly celebrated aviation services management professional, vision-driven entrepreneurial expert and industry captain, Chris Undulue, who is the managing director and chief executive officer of CLEANSERVE Integrated Energy Solutions Limited, a frontline aviation support solutions marketing company in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2024. It's a package you'll love to watch. Sit back as we bring you the details. Chief Executive Officer of Staff Limited.
We are plastic packaging items, products here in Ogun State, and our actually product is for storage and packaging. Is friendly, is replacing all the wooden pallet and wooden boxes. No need to cut trees, therefore that it's very good and friendly. It's hygienic and the market is demanding it more and more.
Ateco Mills and Steelworks Limited, we're actually an indigenous 100% local engineering firm where we fabricate, assemble, install and commission agricultural processing machines with a focus on palm oil processing plants and introducing cassava processing plants in 2025. Our clients have a lot of benefits from using our equipment, so we build mechanized processing plants where you increase productivity, increase efficiency, increase profitability when compared to the traditional methods. And that's what we're actually here telling people about.
Hello everybody, we are LEGRANDE Properties Development Company Limited. We're a real estate and construction company with over 20 years of construction experience that has vetted over 11 completed estates with world-class infrastructures, all resident in Nigeria. What stands us out is that we go the extra mile to deliver all our estates with impeccable excellence, quality delivery, and robust integrity. Please kindly listen to the testimonies of some of our homeowners.
Hopefully satisfied homeowner with LEGRANDE Properties.
Indeed, it's a place I'm happy to come home to. They manage the property very well. For the past few years, about 10 years, like I said earlier on. In terms of security, it's top notch. It's a highly secured estate. I'm sure you'd have seen coming in the security that you'd have to pass through.
We have two sections of buildings in this estate. We have the phase 1, we have the phase 2. When the construction was going on in phase 1, we kept on coming to see what is going on. And along the line, we heard about phase 2, and we came in, we saw from the scratch the foundation and everything, and I was able to convince my husband that this is where we are coming into.
My older daughter was invited to a party by one of our schoolmates. So when we got to the destination, that was Warsaw in Lende, Maryland. So when we got there, I was like, this beautiful place on the mainland. I used to see all these kind of things on the island, and I was like, well, I'm interested.
So this will be a good time to be looking at, real estates in Nigeria, that at least you can see evidence of their track record, what they've done. And then once you subscribe, you have the opportunity of being able to monitor whatever it is that is going on.
Power, it's been there, there's always power. It's a mandate that they've agreed to take on, and they always make sure as much as possible that they keep to that. All in all, I think it's been fantastic.
If you go from Victoria Crest down to this place, you can never get the space we have in Couplag. It's so roomy, so big, the rooms are big, the space, the everything you can talk about in this estate is, at least if you are having 85-90, I think is a pass mark.
For those who are looking, probably getting into transaction, subscribing, this is what I would call, something worth considering.
Barrister Patience Dakba is the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Masters Energy Oil and Gas Limited, a frontline diversified oil and gas group of companies in Nigeria.
Nigerians should look out for Masters Energy because every of our products, Nigerians need them in their homes. So we are looking out for Nigerians. And that was why I said that the prices are so affordable that most Nigerians can put Masters Energy products in their homes. For the lubricant, we have two plants. We have Lagos branch at Mowe, where we have our factory. So for those around the west and Lagos, we have Mowe plant, which is very accessible. And then for those of them in the east, we have our plant at Uturu. The same thing, same quality, same everything. You can get what we have in Lagos at Uturu. Because of the quality, good quality, accessible plants, where is easily accessible. The factories are easily accessible. We have good quality because our quality control department is superb. The prices also, because in this Nigeria right now where things are very, very difficult, you need to produce products that are affordable to the middle class.
Bankole Williams, a young certified management consultant, transformational coach, astute entrepreneur, and industry captain, is the founder, principal consultant, and chief executive officer of LYD Consulting Limited, a fast-growing corporate development firm in Nigeria, and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2024.
Nigeria, like you rightly said, can be a tough place, right, to do business in, and more so in this time, where there is inflation. Inflationary rates are on the high. Dollar exchange rate, even though we're hearing that the dollar price exchange rate is coming down, but it's at a very significant high, right? And generally in the world, there are just economic downturns, but Nigeria in particular is an interesting place to work in. Power is not as available as ideally should be. So what then needs to happen is that business people need to recognize the need for an adjustment, right? When things happen, there must be adaptation, must be adjustments. The question is, what are these adjustments? If you think of a business, profit is determined by two factors. One is the amount of income, that's the revenue that you generate. Two is your costs. So those are two essential elements that in difficult times like this, we need to be able to look at. We need to be able to look at the contributors to our revenue. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, right? So in a tough time, you need to look at the factors that contribute to your revenue and what adjustments can be made to each of those factors. So for instance, it could be your products. Could it be that your product offerings may not be a need in a time when there's a downturn? There are things that a lot of us, we used to buy when things were rosy. Now, we are cutting off some of those things. So if your product is not generally considered to be a need, especially when you're serving, the mass markets, dependent on where you're pitching, it then means that you need to make certain adjustments. An adjustment could be, are there any tweaks we can make to our product that will ensure that it is a need? Are there new product lines, that we can come up with, right, that will fit the problems of, because with an economic downturn comes peculiar problems. So can we come up with a product line that would fit the peculiarities of the problems in the time that we are in, that would ensure that we're able to generate better revenue, right? And a number of other factors that, can contribute to that, profit pool. But you then also want to look at your cost elements, right? So for instance, you spend a good percentage of what people spend as cost, is rent, right? And you're renting a facility and you have to be there every day, diesel cost, service charge, all that, right? Is there a way you can have a hybrid function where not everybody resumes in the office every single day, right? That even cuts down the cost, for the employees themselves, because at the end of the day, what determines their engagement level is that, they're making money, but they're not spending so much, right? Could you work remotely? What are some of the other things that, were not really necessities that you can cut down on, right? So in times like this, there's a need for those kinds of adjustments. And I think the final one will be innovation, right? Thinking outside the box, looking for ways to improve on what it is that we have that will meet the current appetite of the customers that you have, right? I think these are some of the essential components that we need to really think about, in a time when you're operating a business in Nigeria, particularly in harsh times. So LID Consulting started in 2016. Before then, I worked in a management consulting firm, and that was because I wanted to learn, what that whole process, was like. Before then, I worked as a banker. I worked in Guarantee Trust Bank for a couple of years. And I worked in the human resources department. And I remember I worked in the training team. So I'd always been fascinated about, human capacity development. And I remember then we partnered with, management consulting firms. And I was just fascinated at how they were able to come and help fix peculiar problems that we had that ultimately was tied to the bottom line. So we could see how there were progressions in the revenue we're generating, like the effectiveness and the engagements of the people that we're working with. And, for me, I'd always been fascinated about that. always been fascinated by people who open their mouths and they say really inspirational stuff that can bring about behavioral change that would ultimately bring about profitability, right? So I guess it was important for me at a point to decide to give life to that fascination. And it was a very difficult decision to make, to leave a booming career as a banker. But I was young at the time, I still am young, but at the time I thought to myself that, I can take risks now. I was one of those bright sparks that if I continued on that path, I'd have just been getting promoted and everything, and it would be a lot harder, when I get to a certain level to make that bold move. So I decided, I'll take a chance on my dreams and understand, learn the ropes, and eventually set up mine. So in 2016, I set up LYD Consulting, and it was born out of a passion, right? A passion for innovation, a passion for excellence, passion for execution, right? That would ultimately bring about transformational changes in corporate organizations, and that would ultimately contribute, to the economy of whatever country that you're operating in. Our mission, at our core, we are very, very passionate, about execution, excellence, and innovation to bring about transformational change, right? Our vision, is to be the premier partner, right, to corporate organizations, empowering their employees to do great work, to get great work done in less time so they can surpass the annual financial targets of their own employers. Right, and with respect to how much we've done some really, really remarkable things between 2016 and now, right? At the core, we want to empower employees to get great work done. So what would be the metrics of measurement is that significant value is being added to the organization. And we've done that with various organizations in the oil and gas sector, in the banking sector. We've done a whole lot in the banking sector, coming up with interventions that would empower the people to get great work done. We've worked with government parastatals, we've worked with technology companies, telecoms companies, a lot of industries. We've empowered tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of employees, right? And organizations have been able to credit the significant advancements that they've experienced with respect to their brand equity, with respect to their profitability. They've been able to credit that to the interventions that we developed for them, the bespoke interventions we developed for them that ultimately brought about this transformation. So we've done some really, really remarkable work. Is there more to be done? Oh, most definitely. Are there opportunities for improvement? Most definitely. Our goal is to be able to take this, on a global scale and to get global recognition for the work that we do. We offer a number of services that cut across, three things. One is training, right? We have various training solutions and training interventions. Two is consulting. And consulting is basically being able to identify specific problems organizations have and coming up with interventions. And there are an array of interventions that can help fix these problems, right? And the third is coaching, right? And for us, coaching is different from training. Coaching is working in partnership with these employees to help them discover on their own solutions to the gaps that they find. Because we recognize that when people create their ideas, they own them, right? So we guide them over a coaching model over a period of time to clarify their goals, but also to achieve the goals over a period. So we have various solutions under these three broad categories, which I've mentioned to you. But in summary, these are some of our offerings. The consulting industry has evolved over time. It has grown over time. I remember when I was in the University of Lagos, I'd always been fascinated about this. I remember doing a test to join KPMG, doing an interview to join Accenture. They were the big four organizations that people knew at the time. But the space has grown, and now we have a lot of young, vibrant players, right, within the consulting sphere. And these young, vibrant players are coming up with innovative solutions and ideas, coming up with newer and better ways to bring about behavioral change, which is one of, so I'll give you an example. I talked about how we infuse things like coaching. Now, coaching can be one-on-one, but it's also a strategy that we infuse in our learning process, right? Because like I said earlier, people own what they create. So how do we, instead of telling you what to do, how do I ask you questions that will elicit from you what needs to be done, so you take responsibility for it? So I've seen different approaches, techniques. Now we're looking at, gamified approaches where it's experiential. People are carrying out an exercise or a game, right? And they are drawing out the learning points from the activities, right? So the point is, in terms of approach, the way of delivery, there have been significant improvements, even with the influx of younger people and solutions using technology. There's definitely been growth, right? Are there opportunities for more to be done? Almost definitely. I do believe that we need more players. We need more people to challenge the status quo. We need more partnerships with the government to ensure that there are policies that advance the sector. And we need more regulation, and if some of these things are brought to the fore, we would definitely start competing on a global scale. There's LYD Consulting. So LYD Consulting is Leave Your Dreams Consulting. So it's a consulting arm of what we do. LYD Africa is the not-for-profit arm of what we do. So it's like our own CSR project, our own way of giving back to the society. I believe that the essence of having a business is not just for your own private benefit. It's so that you can solve a problem that people have in society, for there to be advancement.
We are called CLEANSERVE Integrated Energy Solutions Limited. We are a world-class energy marketing company positioned to provide it all aspects of aviation fuels. CLEANSERVE leverages on technology and automation unique web of leading aviation fuel experts and strategic partners to offer the industry a comprehensive set of solutions. At CLEANSERVE, we deliver high-quality, safe, and timely aviation fuels. CLEANSERVE Integrated Energy Solutions Limited. Clean energy at its best. Chris Ndulue, a professor of geology, certified petroleum engineer, highly acclaimed aviation services management professional, vision-driven entrepreneurial expert and industry captain, is the managing director and chief executive officer of CLEANSERVE Integrated Energy Solutions Limited, a frontline aviation support solutions provider in Nigeria, and indeed one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2024.
Yes, CLEANSERVE Energy, as I want to call it, it has a little longer name. It was started sometime in 2010, and so it's been around for some time. It has met some success. It has actually gone through ups and downs also. So that's it's an oil and gas marketing company, but we are primarily focused on providing aviation fuel to the aviation industry, both foreign and local airlines in Nigeria. The vision we have of the company is that of a world-class aviation services provider. That's the vision we have of the company. The mission is to become a service provider of repute, one that is a service provider of choice to our customers, and one that also delivers value to our stakeholders, both our staff and our shareholders and the government. Maybe geographically we have not spread outside Nigeria, but in Nigeria I think we have been able to achieve our mission in Nigeria. That global vision of being a service provider or a marketing company that is known worldwide for what it does. That's still something that we are looking forward to in the future. Our service is primarily providing aviation fuel to the airlines. We are a mono-product company, so to speak. The process of diversification is something that we still have to deal with. But basically, we are focused on providing aviation fuel to the airlines. So the facilities we have in our offices here, we have a depot here in Lagos, we have in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, and Kano. So at those locations, we receive aviation fuel. We process them through our facilities, the depots that we have at the airports, and then we take it to the aircraft when they arrive.
We are called CLEANSERVE Integrated Energy Solutions Limited. We are a world-class energy marketing company positioned to provide all aspects of aviation fuels. CLEANSERVE leverages on technology and automation unique web of leading aviation fuel experts and strategic partners to offer the industry a comprehensive set of solutions. At CLEANSERVE, we deliver high-quality, safe, and timely aviation fuels. CLEANSERVE Integrated Energy Solutions Limited. Clean energy at its best. Special television report featuring ARKLAND Group, a frontline real estate development and management company in Nigeria. Watch out.
ARKLAND Properties is a full-service real estate organization with a strong presence in major cities.
Well, these are the three major rating agencies. We're trying to get to a stage where we'll start.
And this is where we bring down the curtains on today's package of the EOM Business Network. Thank you very much for spending your valued time with us. We hope it was worth your while. But just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then you can come with us to any of our feedback portals, as you can see on the screen. Our deep gratitude to you, our sponsors, for your continued interest and support. Always remember, with you and us, we are champs. Oh yes, I remain Olorogo Elkanah Mowari. Please, let's do this again, same time, same channel next week. We'll see you then.